Well, the Mueller report confirmed that there was never really a a good reason to investigate President Trump. There's no evidence.
First place.
Yeah, that dossier. There's no evidence. That means that dossier is false, and I think they all knew that at the time. Certainly in January of 2017, Mr. Mueller admitted at the time, before he confronted Mr. Trump with the dossier, he knew at the time and told Trump essentially that, we haven't been able to corroborate any of this, but you should know about it. And they still haven't been able to corroborate it, and certainly Mueller has confirmed after 2 years that there was no evidence of collusion. So we need to figure out about the corruption behind that big lie that led to a harassing investigation of the president, and I think abuse of power by various agencies in terms of targeting him, spying on him, leaking classified information to target him. All of this needs to be exposed. We're even asking basic questions about the Mueller operation. I know the Democrats are pretending to be interested in the Mueller report. They're creating a fight with an unnecessary subpoena at this point, but they don't want the full information from Mueller, that's for sure. They don't want to know the FISA warrant. They don't want the FISA warrant material. They don't want the page-struck text messages or other emails and material that would reflect on why the Obama Justice Department and the Obama FBI were illicitly targeting him while protecting Hillary Clinton. This is why you have an independent group like Judicial Watch asking these questions, because frankly, when the Republicans ran Congress, they didn't do enough investigating. Certainly anything that's going to make the Democratic Party look bad or President Obama's administration look bad, that is not going to be investigated by the House.
So speaking of the FISA warrants, I think it was you guys that actually exposed, and actually maybe you can clarify this for me, that there weren't actually hearings held around these FISA warrants that were related to essentially spying on the presidential campaign. How does that work? Is that what you found out? And
well, that was followed a bouncing ball as well. I think we sued. We asked the court for information, and the court said, "Well, why don't the government has transcripts if there are any?" So we went and asked the government. They ignored our request, so we sued, and so finally they said, "Well, we don't have anything." So we go back to the courts and say, well, they don't have it. Do you have it? And they said, well, then the government finally admitted that there were no transcripts because there were no hearings. So they had the initial FISA application and 3 renewals. So these were 4 separate pleadings filed with the court to get the spy warrant targeting, it was Carter Page in name, but it was really Trump they were after. And the court didn't hold, the 4 different judges that held not one hearing on an effort by the Justice Department and the FBI to spy on essentially the presidential candidate and then the President of the United States. It's just remarkable. And who uncovered that? Judicial Watch.